Hello. Hi.
Hi, everybody.
Hey there, Brent. How you doing?
I'm doing good, Diane. How you doing?
I'm doing good too. Doing good too. Don't tell me you're eating again.
I'll be conducting helping moderate today's lesson. Teresa is out today, so I'll just be moderating for our gentleman, or our para
Hi,
gentleman, I
Alex.
should say. Hi, ma'am.
Hi,
Nice
Alex.
to see you.
Nice to hear you.
Yes, I'm currently at the library right now, so I'm just
okay.
out today. So, but yeah, he'll be on. I know the name, so I'll let you guys know when he's on.
All right.
Yeah, I think it's actually going to be a man and a woman today. So they're talking about the single family residential rehabilitation program. So they'll be discussing that with you guys today.
Okay. Hey, Brenda. Hi, Miss Velma. How are you?
How you doing? I'm fine.
I'm doing good.
Lazy.
I just came back. I thought I was gonna miss out. I had a doctor's appointment. So.
Oh, hi guys.
Can you folks?
You made it
Hi
back.
there.
Good morning, everyone.
Hi,
Hello.
Diane.
How you?
Hi, Diane.
Hi, how y'all? How y'all? Diane's the name. Call me Diane.
Yes, I remember Diane.
Okay.
Hey,
This is Jennifer.
Can you guys see my
Genevieve.
screen?
Yes, Mr.
Yes.
Bell, we can see your screen.
All right, you see Tuesday, November 1st, 1 to 2:15?
Mr. Bell.
Yeah, yes.
Yes.
Okay, thanks so much, guys. I appreciate it.
Hello, everybody. Love you.
Hello,
Hi.
hello.
Good
Hi,
afternoon.
Kim.
Afternoon. Hi, Diane. Hi, Brenda.
Hey,
Hi.
Hi, Kim. How are you?
I am blessed and highly favored.
Oh, great.
Yes.
Yes, we all are.
Yes.
Do that.
Did anybody go get gift cards today? Huh?
What?
Did anybody go get the free gift cards at Bread for the City today?
No.
No. I didn't know about it.
I had
Oh man, my friend went today. She got her gift card.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, there was about 200 people online, and she was
sure
there
was.
at 6:30 in the morning.
Wow. That's right. I knew that.
Kim, was it a long line to get it?
Well, I didn't go today. You got till the 23rd of November.
Yeah,
you can go any day till the 23rd.
Thursday or Saturday, I think, for Bread for the City.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
Thank
going.
you. Thank you.
How much is
it?
Yeah.
How much is the gift? How much
it's
is
50.
it?
I think it's $50, but they only have 300. They only have 300. I don't know if that's per day or across, but today they had a lot of folks there.
I think I remember this from last year when my daughter got it. They
Yeah,
gave
they
her
did it last year, man.
$75, but they mailed it to her. You gotta get on the if you would get on
Just
the
as a
mailing
reminder,
list.
I'll be doing my advanced training tomorrow. I'll be doing my advanced training tomorrow on calendars. So please be sure that you guys attend.
Yes, babe.
It's a very great lesson. So again, tomorrow I'll be doing my advanced training on the calendar app. So just be sure that you guys attend at 10:30 sharp. All right.
Okay.
I can't miss that.
I miss
Be there.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Portia.
There she goes.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good
Yes,
afternoon, everybody.
Good
Afternoon.
Good afternoon, everybody.
I'm going on salad.
Miss Adele. Detricia, hello. Hi, sweetie. I'm fine. Hey, Miss Portia. Yeah, sweetie. Where Miss Kim at? I'm right here. How you doing, baby doll? I'm fine. How you? Good. I'm fine.
What's up, Kim?
Miss Jan, I'm gonna get my book.
This is Carolyn.
Yeah, okay. Hi, Carolyn. How you doing? I think I'm gonna get the $6.95. That's, I call. Okay, we'll talk about it after class. Okay. All right.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You know, those beautiful faces.
I'm Miss Brenda.
Hi, Portia.
How you?
Portia.
I'm
good.
I'm fine. How you doing? I'm Mr. Dale.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Mr.
Dale.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Heard my name.
I'm Miss
Patricia.
Hello, everyone.
Say your name again. I'm always asking your name, Detricia. If I'm saying it, pronouncing it correctly, Detricia.
Yes, exactly.
That's a pretty name, and I'm keep looking at it. I said, I don't want to mess up her name.
Can you say last name?
Who is that? The one?
No, I'm sticking with the first name. I'm not
All
going
right. That's good enough.
Okay,
I'll
keep practicing that
I'm
one.
Miss Wheeler. Miss Wheeler, you got the thing off.
How was y'all Halloween?
Oh no,
Lovely.
I don't do Halloween. I do Jesus Christ. I don't do Halloween.
All right, that's what I'm talking about.
These kids don't come around here no way. They go Capitol Hill. Kids don't come around here.
Put them first in everything you do.
Yes, ma'am.
Amen.
But it's all
How
right.
you doing, Miss Williams?
Where Miss Williams at?
No, I see William Mips. I see
William
him relaxed.
Mims.
So I can let them know. Good
Kim, how you
afternoon.
doing?
My name is Gloria Duckett.
How you doing, Duckett?
Gloria.
All right.
Hello.
Hello.
Miss Kim, you got a new background, huh?
Oh yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I like that.
Oh, she just showing off. She just showing off.
Yeah, gotta show off. Gotta show off.
I'm gonna catch up, Kim. I'm gonna catch up with you.
Okay.
Yeah, that's nice.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I'm just checking it out.
Yeah, that's nice. Remember they had that play with that's been so long ago. They didn't even have that play no more where they be singing. And it was a church play.
I know what you're talking about, but I don't know the name of it.
Yeah.
And Miss Carolyn Body, you showing off too. I see that background. I love it. Y'all keep on.
Yeah, we love flowers.
Y'all keep on.
Give me something nice.
Thank you.
Let me see.
I'm Miss Teresa. That's Teresa.
Wow.
Yeah. They're gonna get started in a minute, promise. Listen, she put me out the class. Miss James is chill.
Who's that playing the piano?
Jennifer.
Jennifer got some good skills.
That's Miss. What's her last name? Jennifer.
Jennifer Blackman is my name.
Yeah. Oh, you playing the piano now?
Yeah, I'm playing the piano.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Go ahead and serenade us. We listening to your music.
I'm telling you.
Skills. Y'all just showing off. Y'all just showing off.
Yeah.
You know this one?
Then she played the steel band too. The steel drum.
This little light of mine.
Oh, that was.
I'm gonna let it shine.
I'm gonna try to.
Let it shine.
Let it shine. Come on, let's sing, everybody. Let's go.
I'll have the voice first.
Light of mine.
I'm gonna let it shine.
This little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. Yes, this little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine.
Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. All right.
Let it shine. Let it shine.
You go ahead, Miss Jennifer. Go ahead.
We could
Y'all sound
have a
like
fire.
y'all need my voice up in there. Y'all
Well,
want to hit Barry White?
Go ahead. Open.
Oh, you can start all
Walk
over.
in.
Yeah, again,
everywhere
folks,
I
we're starting in
go.
a couple minutes, so just please just have all background noise turned off. Make sure you take notes before
Okay.
you're presenting some information
Okay.
today. So just
You
get your
ready?
phones ready, please.
Okay.
And then I'll let you know when our
Alex.
speakers are in today.
Everywhere I go.
And look, y'all, Kim. And look,
Come
y'all,
on,
Kim
Miss
Johnson
Jennifer,
got the
get ready.
background too, like she at church. Don't tell Kim. Y'all go ahead and sing. Kim got the background like we're at church around hats.
Oh
and
yeah,
everything.
we're in church every day. That's right. That's right. Praise the Lord.
Amen. She sure
Go ahead,
do.
Kim.
Hallelujah. Miss Kim a trip.
Kim doing it.
Sure do.
So Kim,
We always do this before
Kim, do you change your back? Do you change your background as soon as you get into the Zoom, or is it the same one? How do you do it?
No, I change it every now and then. I'm gonna do it now while I'm in here. Let's see.
So what are the steps? What are you doing?
Wait a minute.
Okay,
Yes,
let me tell y'all. Okay. So go to the top of your screen, hit the top of your screen, and hit more.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
Okay, when you hit more, you're gonna see background effects.
Got you.
Right.
Oh yeah, okay.
But you gotta take the picture on your Apple iPad. You gotta have a picture on it. If not, then you're not gonna be able to have a background. So I got 4 pictures up here. And
So when you tap on the picture, then what you tap? When you tap on the picture, what you do? Oh, I got it.
Yeah, I just changed it. You tap on the picture and then you hit edit. After you hit edit and then hit the middle of the screen and you back in, you got your picture.
All right.
Let me see.
Okay, go to
Okay. Then you gotta add the pictures beforehand. Oh, Miss Brenda.
Okay, I did it.
I think I got it. I'm gonna do it.
Oh, there you go, Dolores.
I'm there. I'm trying to see.
Yeah, you got it back. Okay.
But how I get this?
You got it.
But
how you
the
get
thing
back
off
out?
the side?
Just
Do I hit that
hit the
cancel?
middle of your screen. Hit the middle of your screen or hit the 2 little arrows up top. So you can go back to the 4. Yeah, hit the 2. You go.
Am I there?
Okay, can you see Mr. Bell's screen?
Mr. Bell.
Yeah.
Where is that at? Wait a minute.
Department of. You say hit the middle of the screen.
Oh, I see.
Back out.
Do you see me
you
now?
can tap the middle of the screen or you can tap the 2 arrows on the left-hand side.
Brenda done changed it already.
Do you see me? Is mine
Where
changed?
Yeah, I see you. I see you, Dolores.
Oh, so you go ahead, girl. You just even just change.
Nah, you go ahead. You did it. You did it.
Look at you. With your instructions, you go ahead.
All right.
I'm gonna tell Teresa, you trying to take her job.
Yeah,
I gotta write that down. So I hit more first. That's what I do. Okay.
Yeah, hit more first.
Okay.
And then go to background effects.
Okay.
Okay, more.
And then you click on your picture. You can take as many pictures on your Apple iPad, like a picture of anything.
Apple.
Okay, ground effect. Okay. I got you.
And then you click on your picture. You click on your picture and then you hit edit. Edit means you're changing it from your previous background.
Oh, okay.
And then you just come out of that. Just click on the middle of the screen or even on the 2 little arrows on the left-hand side. And then you back in the screen.
Oh, no, that's minimizing me.
I didn't put that many pictures in mine, so
yeah, you got to take some pictures, or you can go in there and download some pictures.
Well, how do you download it?
You download it in the let me show you.
Photo
apps. You download it in what says video filters. Instead of background, you're gonna hit video filters.
I'm gonna give you my number. You call me, Miss Kim, please.
Look, Miss Kim giving lessons now.
I'll put it in the chat right now.
Miss Kim said she giving lessons now.
You getting your lessons right now.
Excuse me, Miss Kim.
Yes.
Suppose you have a whole lot of pictures already in an iPhone. Can I transfer to this page?
Yeah, you can do that, but it's a process. It's a long
I
process.
have a whole lot of pictures, you know.
Yeah.
Of iPad and all and everything, and
Kim Johnson.
But I don't have none on
you
this
synced the
new
rest
yet.
of yours into that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You had synced yours into that.
Well, I didn't sync mine because I just been taking pictures on my tablet. I just changed it again.
Yeah, I like
I
that.
can't see everybody now
Yeah.
because we got the screen up here.
Yeah.
Kim Johnson.
I like that, Kim. I like that background.
Oh yeah, thank you, girl.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I like that one too.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Thank you, Kim.
I
You're
don't
welcome,
see your
baby.
name on
Thank
here,
you.
Miss Kim.
Again, we're
Your
waiting for our
name.
speakers for today, so please just
I
be
don't see
patient.
your
They'll be coming
name.
the next few minutes, okay?
Okay.
So hold on tight.
I don't see your name.
You don't see it?
No, not in the participant
In the chat.
thing. Yeah.
Oh, it's in there.
Okay, I got it.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, all right, I got it.
Yeah, just put your number in there and chat it to me.
Okay, all right.
Tap on her name now. Tap on Kim's name.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the only person we see it would be Kim.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got it. Thank you.
Fancy.
Go ahead, Miss Kim.
Look, y'all gonna be professionals when we get finished with this class.
I'm telling you. No, we're teaching each other because he's sure.
That's right.
Yeah.
We're gonna start a business going on, a business plan with a bunch of seniors.
That's right. That's right.
Hey, Dolores, how you doing? Miss Portia.
Hi, sweetie. How you doing?
I'm hanging.
You are? Good.
Yeah, I'm hanging.
You're a nice person. I enjoy you. Talk sometimes.
Thank you so much. You're so sweet.
Yeah, I try to be.
Where's Brenda? Is Brenda on here?
Good morning, ladies. Good morning, ladies.
Oh, okay.
Good morning.
Hi, Brenda.
We only have one man in the group.
I am.
No.
Oh, there you are.
You know, what's his name? The one named after the one that paint pictures. You know you're gonna come on late.
You busted him out.
Michelangelo.
Yes, Miss Angela.
Yeah, he's good looking too.
Man, what'd you say, sweetie?
I
heard what you said, Ann.
Angela is something else.
Yes. He heard you, Ann.
He's a good looking man. What can I say?
Go ahead, Ann.
He come late. I've been to the doctor. And it took me sometimes. Oh Lord. And then there's another guy on there too. Yeah. That's nice.
Miss Portia.
Yes, sweetie.
Miss Portia. Did you ask me to call you yesterday, Dolores?
Yes, I did. I think yes, Dolores Washington.
Right.
Yes.
I called you, but you didn't pick up the phone.
Oh, well, you didn't throw my phone number away, did you?
And your phone and your box is full, so you can't even leave a message.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna take you that, man. My husband told me that. Yeah, he told me that. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna clear it. No,
Portia, you left me a message too, and I called you twice, and you never answered. So I said, "Well,
Lord. Oh.
It must not have been important."
Exactly.
I'm gonna do better. I was getting that book together, that Eat to Heal, and I found it. Thank you, Miss Judd. Yeah, I found it.
Okay.
Well, Brenda told me don't call her no more.
Oh, and you know I didn't say that.
And we just got to singing church music and being in church, and you gonna come over here and say that?
Right.
Come trash,
And
right?
you know,
right.
I know. I'm just messing with you, Brenda. You know I love you.
I love you too. I love all you guys over here.
Exactly.
You know, you gotta have a little laugh here going on sometime.
We
You know?
love y'all.
Yeah, all the time.
Amen.
Yeah, all the time.
And Miss Angelo, I didn't mean to embarrass you or upset you, but you know, I know what a good-looking man look like. So.
And we done moved past that, and you still talking about that good-looking man. All right? It's okay. Is there anything else?
If there's anything else,
You
I
got to
heard-
keep uplifting yourself, huh?
That's
Yeah,
right.
Mhm.
that's right.
that's right. Ain't nothing wrong with that. We say
Hi, Miss Danillo.
Okay.
Okay.
Mr. Jeffrey, can you hear me?
I can hear you. This is Danillo.
Oh, hi, sir. How are you doing today?
Very good.
Good. I'm covering for Teresa today, but basically it's it's a show. So would you prefer questions in the middle of the presentation if you have any moving topics, or do you want to wait until the end for questions?
So I don't have too much of a presentation, so certainly would welcome any sort of clarification, because I don't want to get too far down the road and have someone misunderstand something, but it should be also over pretty quickly, and then we can go to discussion. So
Okay, great. So just if you have a question for our speakers today, you guys, just be sure to raise your hand and I'll be able to moderate the questions that way. All right.
Okay.
Great. Let me go ahead and give you, let me allow you to share your screen.
okay.
Wow. We're nice. We're nice. Don't be afraid of us.
I'm not at all, not at all. I am, you know what? I think we're just gonna go without sharing my screen, just because it's really
Okay.
one slide with some words on it. So, so
Great.
that's okay. So good afternoon, everyone.
Good
afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I am very happy to join you, and I believe Jeffrey Reiss is here on the line as well, and I'll introduce him in a minute. But we are from the Department of Housing and Community Development, and most of you are likely familiar with the program that we run, many of the programs we run. We are different from the Housing Authority, which is the organization that runs public housing and housing vouchers and local rent supplement and all those great programs. And we're also different from the DC Housing Finance Agency, which most of you are probably not familiar with, because they do stuff around housing bonds, and low-income housing tax credits, et cetera. We are an agency that is the district's housing agency. The Housing Authority is a separate entity. And what we do is a couple of things. One, we provide financing. So we're kind of like a bank, and we provide financing for building affordable housing. And then what we also do is we provide funding for repairing homes. And that's something that I'm going to talk about today. But we also then provide funding to local organizations, mostly what we call community-based organizations. Those are groups like Housing Counseling Services or Mary's House, these sorts of organizations to provide housing counseling services. So that's services to homeowners and to tenants and people who are seeking to buy homes, that sort of stuff. We provide funding to help those organizations do that. And then the last thing that we do is we regulate. And the two things that we regulate are the Rental Housing Act, which some of you may know as rent control, but that's all the protections and things that tenants have. We are not the judge or the jury. We don't do that sort of work. But what we do is we collect a lot of the forms and the information, and we make sure that those are filed, and where people come to make sure that people are paying attention to the rules and things like that. And then we also regulate conversions and sales. So that's where someone wants to sell a property and there are tenants in the property. We are part of regulating that, what we call the Tenant Opportunity to Purchase Act. So that's the ability for tenants to buy a property that they're in that's being sold. or if you live in a residence and you decide that you want to, as a renter, and you decide you want to convert that to a condominium or a cooperative, we regulate that. So that's, a lot of information, but I just want to give you a sense of what we're talking about today is a program within that agency, the Department of Housing and Community Development. And this program is in the division that I oversee called the Preservation Unit. And the idea here is we're trying to preserve people's homes, preserve people's home ownership, and make it safe for them to live there. Okay, so we've gotten finally to the point. What I'll do is talk a little bit about the program we want to highlight to you today. And then, as I said, I'll introduce Jeff Reiss, and he can say a few words. And then I will open it up and we'll answer questions on this program. We'll try to answer questions on other programs. We'll do the best to answer all of your questions or get back to you with a response. Okay. So, single family residential rehabilitation program is a program that helps low-income people. Now, it's primarily our senior population that applies for this, but it doesn't only help seniors. So if you know someone who's not a senior, particularly if they have a disability or something that challenges them in day-to-day life, but anyone who's low income can apply for this program. What it does is it replaces roofs and provides mobility and accessibility modifications such as ramps or stair lifts, modifications to a bathroom to make sure that it's safe, those sorts of things. And I want to say that this program, again, is focused on roofs and making those mobility enhancements. But the program will also help if your roof has been leaking and there's damage to one of your walls, we can help sort of make that wall look new, right? So the way to think of this is it's the roof, it's helping you be able to get in and out of your home, in and out of your bathroom, in and out of your kitchen, that sort of work. And then some of the work around that, either to make that work possible, so maybe doing some things, with with your house to make sure that when we make a change, it's going to work, and also to fix some of the damage that may have occurred due to the problems you've had at your house. At this time, we do not do HGTV makeovers of homes. That's not something we're able to do. So, you may have other things you want done in your home, or those you think should apply for this program when you talk to them. We can help often connect you with those services. So it's not that we don't want to do it or don't want to help you do it, but it's not something our program does. So, for example, the Department of Energy and Environment has programs to provide energy efficient appliances, or to help with lead-based paint and mold, these sorts of things. So we can help you connect up with those things, but that's not currently what we do. Quickly on eligibility, it's pretty simple. In order to be eligible for our program, you have to own and live in the home as your primary residence for at least 3 years. So I think for a lot of you folks who are homeowners, chances are you've lived and owned your home as your primary residence for a lot more than 3 years. But that's one requirement. You have to be current on all DC and federal taxes, right? Now, this is something that, we can potentially sort of, if you do find that you're not current on something, it's not that you get rejected and can never come back. So, it's something where we can maybe look at resolving those issues. You do have to be current on your mortgage for the last 12 months, right? So sometimes, again, someone will come in and they're not current, but if they are current for 12 months, they can apply. So they can apply in 3 months or 6 months when they come back and have been current. You have to maintain current homeowners insurance. This is really important. Obviously, just in general, it's important that you have homeowners insurance, but for our program, you have to maintain that during the process. And then you have to meet income requirements. The income requirements for this program are fairly modest. If you as a single person have an income at or around $80,000, $90,000 a year, it is possible you will be eligible based on income, right? If you're a family of 4, you can have an income of up to $129,000. So those are the requirements. Own and live in your home for 3 years, current on all DC taxes, DC and federal taxes, including fines and fees, current on all mortgages for the last 12 months, maintain current homeowners insurance, and meet the income requirements. If you do that, you will be eligible for our program. And we will then set up a time, and it can take a few months or maybe a little longer, to come out and view your property and make a scope of work on what needs to be done at the property, right? So you may think you need a roof, but when we get out there and talk to you and see your property, it may turn out that you also need some accessibility modifications. Oftentimes, again, you get out there and you think you need something in terms of accessibility, but when we look at your roof, it turns out that there's some need for roof work as well. So that's what happens. And then we put you in a what we call a solicitation, and we will take care of picking the contractor. This is really important there's a very important reason. The reason is that if we do the work and we pick the contractor, and our folks, and again, I'll introduce you to some of the team in a minute, oversee the project, then in the future, if there's a problem, we can help get it fixed, right? So that's the program recently changed to this approach, because we were finding that we would do work in a house, and then a couple years later, there'd be a problem, and the homeowner was having difficulty getting the contractor to do the work, right? But when the Department of Housing and Community Development and the district government reaches out and says, hey, we've got a contract with you and we want you to fix the roof, the results are often much better. So that's why we moved to that. So when we get to that point, we pay for the work. We pay for all the work in our scope. We pay for it with a grant. In other words, the entire project is paid for. Now, we won't pay for, again, other things that you might want to get done that are not in our scope of work. We're only going to focus on the things that our program covers that need to be done, but it is 100% paid for. There is no loan. There is no, requirement that you do certain things and then it becomes a grant. It is a grant. So that's, I think for many of you, that do own homes, an exciting opportunity to if you need this work done, to get it done. The last thing I'll say is this is a very popular program, and so it is not an emergency program. So a couple of things. One is apply now. Don't wait for your roof to start leaking. 2 is that, if you have an emergency and can cover that expense, we encourage you to do that because things only get worse. Once you're in the program, which again can take a while for your application to be fully approved, it is possible for us to do some minor repairs through our minor repairs program before we do the big work. But again, that'll only be months down the road. And so this is not an emergency program. If you are having emergency, you can still apply and we'll do our very, very best to get to you quickly. And we do take that information when we do the application so that we can prioritize applications where it really is an emergency. But again, just reiterating, our program is not, and it cannot sort of move quickly enough in an emergency situation. Okay, so I think, and Jeff, are you there? Can you hear us?
I can hear.
Okay, so I'm gonna turn it over to Jeff Reiss to introduce himself and talk a little bit about his view of the program. Jeff Reiss is the program manager, and typically he would be giving this presentation, but he recently joined us, and so I gave him a pass on this one. But Jeff is the guy that's going to be running the program and dealing with any of you who have or will apply. And so Jeff, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and the program from your perspective after a couple of months on the job.
Thank you, Danillo. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jeff Reiss. I've been with DC government just about 9 years now. I came from DCRA, which is now the Department of Buildings. And I look forward to this program. As Danillo pointed out, the program is very popular. So the list, as you submit applications, sometimes you get frustrated because it seems like it's taking us a long time. But we have, in order to apply, and maybe I missed this, we encourage you to apply through what we call a community-based organization. And there's approximately 10 community-based organizations. And if you go to our website, because I know you're the iPad group, and you're probably pretty good at navigating Safari, there's a couple resources, and I'll put those in the chat as well. It's called Front Door DC, which is a great resource. It talks about what DACL has, which is the Department of Aging. It talks about DHCD, our agency. It talks about Department of Energy and Environment for lead paint, lead pipes, solar. And DHCD is not the only one in the city that does roofs. If you live in a historic district, the Office of Planning will, because they're very specific about your roofs and coping and architectural features, the Office of Planning also does roofs. So in addition to you possibly applying with us, there's also additional resources that you can use that might not have a line quite as long, because the historic districts are a little smaller, and OP has a nice set of funds that they can help out as well. So as far as accessibility, I think Danillo touched upon it. If you have an old claw tub bathtub and it's just getting really, really difficult for you, and you apply for an accessibility grant, we might be able to come in and remove that bathtub and get you a walk-in shower. Department of Aging also will help put grab bars and handrails and different things like that. So when you talk to your community-based organization, they can tell you about the different resources from the different agencies that are available. And then we can also, if we have something that doesn't fall within our program, that may fall into a different program, we will definitely guide you and direct you that way as well. So thank you, sir.
I just put in the, because I know you guys are all tech savvy because you're on this iPad group. But I just put a website, frontdoor.dc.gov. And that is, in addition to the community-based organizations, that is a website you can use to find all the various assistance that DC government provides to homeowners. Currently, it's just for homeowners, but that's a very useful site. So that's frontdoor.dc.gov. And with that, I think that's the end of our presentation, and I see a number of hands. So I'm going to go on to mute and see what folks have to ask, and between Jeff and I, we'll do our best to answer.
Yeah, Mr. Danillo, I found the dc.gov website for the SFRP program. You want me to put that in the chat?
That'd be great. Yep.
Great. So I got a question in my DM from Dolores Washington. She asked, do they install outside gutters also? And does the senior have to be handicapped?
So Jeff, you want to take that one?
Is that right, Ms. Dolores?
My screen.
Yes, that's right.
I apologize. My screen went blank as I was making some notes so I could write down the questions as they come. Can you repeat the question?
It was whether we do exterior gutters and whether you have to be handicapped in order to be eligible for the program.
So that's a two-part question. It's a very good question. We do perform gutters in conjunction with the roofs. I have not seen a specific gutter program or just gutters being done. However, through the Housing Trust Fund, there might be some opportunities there. And as far as disabled, accessibility is the term that we like to use here in the District of Columbia. And accessibility or issues can be both seen and unseen. Now, if you have a physical or even a possible mental ailment, you may qualify for the program. I don't want you to discuss any particular issues here, but if you have any questions, you can feel free to call me, and I'll go ahead and I'll put my number in the chat as well so that you guys can give me a call, and I'll put my email in here as well. So you'll have a point of contact.
So what I'd say is that in general for the program, a particular physical or mental need for assistance is not required. In other words, we can do roofs and some other things without that. In terms of accessibility, we do obviously look for that. In general, being a senior is going to qualify you for a lot of the sort of assistance. So I would say don't think of it as a requirement for the program. It may be in times a requirement for some of the modifications and things we do. And then similarly for gutters, certainly if we come out to your house and find that gutter is causing infiltration, as Jeff said, relative to sort of the roof work we do, we will definitely look at that.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Great. Thank you so much for your question, Ms. Dolores. Next on our list is Teresa Washington. Can you unmute yourself so you can ask your question? Hey, Teresa, are you there?
My question was in the chat, but since I've listened to his presentation, then I no longer have a question. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Teresa. Thanks
Yeah,
so much. Next in line is Ms. Janelle Gray.
Excuse me. Yes. We inherited our home, and as seniors, we're not able to make a lot of the repairs that are needed, like the roof and stuff like that. But we haven't yet transferred the property into our name. Is there a resource that we can go to so we can get our property transferred into our name? We were the inheritances.
Okay, so there's two parts to your question. I'm going to deal with the single family rehab part first, and then I'll deal with the inheritance question. So in single family rehab, if you inherited the home, it is possible to receive assistance. You do have to provide documentation, and we have to make sure that if there are other heirs named and things like that. So I don't want to discourage anyone from seeking our assistance, because we will try to work with heirs properties.
Okay.
That's what they're called when a property hasn't successfully gone through probate, but is being is lived in by one of the heirs. We are starting very seriously to work on heirs issues because so many people in District of Columbia have inherited homes. And it's not just like recently, like for many people, and you may know some folks, you know, a grandparent or a great grandparent sort of died and the home's been passed on year after year. And when they go to do something, get a mortgage, do something else, it turns out that the home is not in their name. So we are starting what we call the District of Columbia Heirs Property Program. It's going to start with legal advice and sort of assistance with some of the fees and legal related costs. We expect that program to be launched in spring this year. So we just yesterday closed what we call a request for information, where we asked all the lawyers and residents and other people, what should a program like that look like? We just got responses back, and a member of my team is reviewing all the responses we got. And I will put that information in, the information we sent out, I will put in the chat right now, so you can get a sense of what we were thinking of doing in that program. But that program will only launch in spring of 2023 is when we expect it. So in the meantime, you can contact groups like Legal Counsel for the Elderly, I think it's called the Nonprofit Law Center. And frankly, actually, let me go back. Legal Counsel for the Elderly is one of our CBOs that Jeff mentioned. So I would start with them and talk to them and see if they are in a position now to recommend someone to assist and provide legal advice or other assistance.
Yeah, we went down to 4th Street and they gave us the runaround, so we still haven't been able to
so
do it.
4th Street, the court, or where? To the
4th Street, the place where you transfer your titles to deeds.
I just went through that, so I just inherited from my mother, and it's complicated.
Yeah, they drove crazy, so we kind of walked out scratching our head and didn't get anything done.
Well, let me encourage you to keep up and keep trying, but also know that groups like the Legal Counsel for the Elderly or others can help you. But please keep trying.
Okay,
yeah, I just put their phone number in the chat for you, Ms. Gray. Okay.
I see it. Thank you, Alex.
No problem. All right, thanks for your question, Ms. Gray. Next we have Portia Carson. Can you unmute yourself so you can ask your question, please?
Okay, hi sir, how you doing? Now I don't know if my question is related to what you were talking about or not, but I'm trying to move, and I went down there to housing, and they weren't there. I'm having a hard time trying to get a voucher. I'm trying update voucher, and where I'm trying to move at, they do not take anything 90 days. It's got to be 90 days, 3 months, you know, active, right? So I was wondering if you could help me, because those people down there have not called us back, have not did anything to assist us with trying to move. We have to move. We have to move. The landlord that takes care of this apartment where we are is remodeling. It's not rushing us, but and I was wondering if you help us, or could you write somebody's phone number in the chat that, you know, that's gonna be able to assist us.
Yeah. So again, we are not the housing authority.
Okay.
In terms of specific voucher issues and your ability to make a change or modification or get a voucher, I wasn't 100% sure if you currently have a voucher or not. That is all the housing authority. In most cases. Now, some cases, if you may deal with Department of Human Services for what's called local rent supplement voucher, or Department of Health has some vouchers as well. But what you described sounds like the housing authority. I would encourage. Yeah. Okay. So you do have to deal with them on that. Our agency does not do that. Where our agency can help is if you have any question about what you need to do what your rights are in terms
Yeah.
of working with your landlord, because there are community-based organizations. And I think we can get a list of those and put those in the chat as well. They may be able to help you to figure out what you do and don't have to do in the process of moving.
Okay.
If you feel like your landlord's on the up and up and everything, he's doing everything, she's doing everything right, then that's fine. But they may be able to help you both figure out to make sure you're being treated right, but also they may be able to help a little bit with voucher questions. So I would encourage you, if you don't get information from the Housing Authority, to visit one of them, and I'll put that list in the chat as well.
Their phone number in the chat.
Yep.
All right, I appreciate that. Let's see.
Thank you so much, Ms. Forrest. Next question is from Ann Dennis. Can you unmute yourself so you can ask your question?
Yes, thank you. You answered a lot of questions for me that I was going to ask. I also wanted to ask you, it's like a grant that you get, and do you have to repay the grant, or is it a grant that is non-payable back?
So the grant is, you do not have to pay it back.
Okay.
The program has, I guess, probably 3 or 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, used to be a loan program. And that was shifted to now a grant program, so you do not have to pay it back.
Okay, I remember that because I've been in my house 72 years. I came here when I was 4.
Wow.
So I've raised kids, grandkids.
I think you qualify.
Yeah, you think I qualify?
Yeah, I think you qualify based on your residency.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Oh, and another question. What about electrical and doors and that kind of stuff? Would that be another program? Doors that don't fit right or not working? Get down, get down, get down. Sorry, the cat got in the picture there.
Oh, we see. Miss Ann. I'm gone.
The Department of Energy and Environment has some great programs for heating and cooling and electricity. They include solar with a roof.
Well, I got that with the mayor's office. I got the solar.
Okay, perfect.
But I'm talking about wiring and my door is, something is going on with that door, and it is the outside door, but I do have another front door on the, it's a porch you come in, it's a enclosed room now. And the inside door is secure, but I'm not feeling real safe about that outside door.
So,
and we've changed
again,
locks and stuff, and it's still shifting, whatever.
I mean, it sounds like something that could fall under sort of accessibility, in terms of being able to sort of make sure your house is easily accessed and safe. You know, so it's not a perfect fit for this program, but if there are other things that are, you know, and particularly if you have concerns about your roof, it may be worth applying for the program and bringing that to someone's attention. But you know, the other thing is there are organizations, Rebuilding Together is one that is a private organization that has received some funding from HUD to fix homes in the district. And so they have, that sounds like a kind of project that, you know, if that's the thing you want to get fixed, that sounds like the kind of thing that a group like Rebuilding Together or Yahad, which is another one, can help with, because, you know, they often rely on volunteers and other things, and fixing a door and reframing it up and getting it level and secure is something that they can do.
Okay, and if I apply for them, does that mean I can't apply to you?
No, I mean, we certainly won't do the same work, and
Right.
you want to be very careful because we do run into situations where someone's applied to multiple people and then suddenly they're sort of all on site or confused about what's going on. So,
Okay.
so you want to be careful about that. But no, when you apply to us, you know, as Jeff said, we will try to coordinate and make you aware of other things, and work with what else you have planned. But you know, again, if you're getting a lot of work done, we've had this happen. People take advantage of a number of different programs. Suddenly, they're all on site at once. That can be pretty complicated.
Okay. Thank you. And to that lady that was asking that other question, tell her to try legal counsel for the elderly and go to Department of Aging, because they're very helpful with some of those questions that she was asking. And
Thank you so much.
You're so
So
welcome,
that's
honey.
the Department of Aging Community Living.
Yeah.
DACL, DACL.
Yes, thank you so much. I'm due to go there on Friday.
So bring that up. Yep.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for your question. Next up is Wayne Ireland. Can you please unmute yourself so that you can ask your question?
Oh yeah, thank you for the conversation and the information. My question is, I had some work done on my roof, but maybe not entirely done. I had gutters put up, but my thing is access to getting outside. I want to know if I could get a ramp or, you know, things of that nature. And where do you apply on the where do you apply on the internet for the program? Can you get it?
So Jeff, you want to take that one?
Sure. So you apply through our community-based organizations, and they work with you to compile all the documents that are required. And you would, it sounds like you'd be applying for a roof. Now, just for further clarification, you trying to get access to your roof, like through a skylight?
Well, no, see, I have a chimney that's in need of repair, and it's on the side of the roof, and I don't know if that will cover, you know, the roof and the chimney, or what would you have, a contractor come out to look at both of the work, the chimney and the landing outside?
So you also wanted to be able to get out your door on your back porch, right?
On my front, I have a electric wheelchair and I can't get out because I got
two
steps.
separate projects, Jeff.
Right, two
Yeah.
separate projects.
So on the application, you would, it sounds to me like you may want to apply for the accessibility grant, which we would work with you on the accessibility issues, which may be providing a ramp. Now, this is where things get tricky sometimes if you're in a historic district, or if your property falls into public space. Although we want to do it, we may not be able to do it because DDOT has certain laws that won't allow us to go in there. And also the Office of Zoning also has additional requirements for how much, we call it lot coverage, that we can and cannot do. So my suggestion is you file for the grant and we would work with you to see if all the pieces fall in together to make sure that we could make that happen for you.
Can I apply online?
No, sir, you have, well, ultimately you need to file through a community-based organization.
And what community-based organization would that be, you know?
That's in the chat. I just put them in there, both the website and the list. So it's groups like, let's see, we talked about Legal Counsel for the Elderly, Central American Resource Center, Greater Washington Urban League, Housing Counseling Services.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
All the Lydia's House, etc. So a bunch
Yeah, I just put the direct link in the chat for the community-based organizations.
Oh my God, my name is thank. Oh my God.
What's the matter? Everything all right? Was everything all right? Oh, she might need some help.
Alex, will this information, this is Miss Gray, will this information still be on the chat after the Zoom goes off?
No, ma'am, just be sure that you either write it down or click on the link so you have it afterwards.
Okay.
So just go through the chat and see what you need so you can write it down.
Okay.
That's a lot of program. Thank you.
Yes,
Appreciate
yeah, no problem. So next question we have is Ms. Carolyn Lawson. Can you please unmute yourself so you can ask your question? Ms. Carolyn Lawson, can you mute yourself, please? Hello?
I think you're unmuted now.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay.
You just muted yourself again, ma'am. Ms. Carolyn, I need you to unmute yourself so you can ask your question.
I unmuted. It's no.
Yeah, you're good. You're good now, ma'am. What's your question?
It keeps going in and out. My question is, do you all still have that program I heard about on the news, TOPA, T-O-P-A? And has it changed? Because years ago, it seemed kind of strange.
So the TOPA, the Tenant Opportunity to Purchase Act, still exists. The only significant change is for single-family homes. For single-family homes that are rented, there are some changes in the way TOPA works. But the Tenant Opportunity to Purchase Act allows a tenant in a property essentially what's called first right of refusal. In other words, if I want to buy a property and I say I'll pay $100,000 for it, or in today's market, a lot more, then the tenant has the opportunity to match that bid, and they get some time to do it. And there's various things that they can do. And in a multifamily property, more than 4 units, they have to form a tenant association, or if they already have a tenant association, use their tenant association to go through the process. As a result of TOPA, tenants can become owners of the property. They can what's called assign their rights. And I would say, well, we want this developer to buy it. And as long as that developer or owner buys it for the same price as the originally offered, they can do that. And then there's some other things, sort of rights, the privileges that it gives you. So yes, Tenant Opportunity to Purchase Act does still exist. And it allows tenants to have the opportunity to have what I'll call some say in what happens if their property is being purchased from the current owner.
But on the news program, it seems to indicate that there are these lawyers floating around that get involved with the renters, and then they pretty much extort money from the people who want to purchase the property. And that seemed kind of wrong to me.
Right. Well, again, so for single family homes, that was changed somewhat. And for larger properties, it's still a possibility. I think, again, the extent to which it's, exploiting, or the extent to which it is, getting assistance, or either to buy the property or to be able to move somewhere else if they're being asked to be evicted, or if asked to leave the property, then I think that's probably a matter of interpretation, and each case may be a little different. I will say that, again, if you are a tenant in a property and it is sold, you do not necessarily have to leave, right? Most cases, unless they're going to turn into their own property or make major renovations to the property, as a tenant, you can stay in the property, even with a new buyer.
Well, good. Seems like there have been some changes. Thank you. It's been very helpful. Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Next question we have is Georgia Green. What's your question?
Yeah. Yes, I'd like to ask two questions. What is the requirement for one person, income-wise, to be accepted into the program?
Let me pull that up real quick. Unless Jeff, you know that offhand?
I do not know that offhand.
So I'll get that for you, ma'am, and I'll put it in the chat or come back. Do you have another question?
Hi, this is Alice Thompson. I think the program is the same as DACA, 72,550, and it probably should be going up soon.
72,000.
550. Yes, that's a single family rehabilitation program.
Yeah, give me a minute because it is based on a very particular program within DHCD. So it's going to be close to that, but it may not.
I think it's about the same. You could check though.
Yeah, it'll be about the same. I agree.
I have a flyer.
And in order to be accepted in the Maryland for the Department of Housing and Urban Development, do the same thing required for them as you do for the district?
I don't know what the story is in Maryland. I don't actually. I have to admit, I don't know if they run a single family rehabilitation program.
In Maryland, doesn't the Department of Housing run in all the states?
So this is different than HUD. HUD is a national one that's in all the states. At least provides assistance in all the states. This is a program run with local money in DC.
Oh, just in DC?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Green. We have another question from Marco Charles. Can you unmute yourself so you can ask your question, please?
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm sorry, I apologize for being late. I know it was a lot of good information given out, but at the time I was being late, I was applying for ERAC. And because I found out the application I had, and I've been waiting on, and I had been approved, but I just found some spam information, and they said that I had to start all over. So I've been waiting all this time for the approval. I mean, I already been approved, so I'm starting all over, and that put me all behind. So I know y'all were talking about houses, but I live in an apartment, and do y'all have any suggestions on a program that I can apply for and to get assistance?
So, Mr. Charles, how many units are in your apartment?
Just one.
Are you in a co-op?
You talking about the apartment all together? 1, 2, 4, 8.
8. Okay, so we have a program called the Small Buildings Program, but the owner has to apply for the Small Buildings Program. Individual tenants cannot apply. The owner would have to apply for that.
This is a big complex, and with rental assistance, but they just bypass me. Everything is bypassed, and I've been living there for like 8 years, 10 years or something, and everybody went. I just had operation for cancer and all that stuff, and doctors just replying about that. Nothing been going right, and I'm just totally confused. I've been on my medication for clinical depression for 20-something years, and I'm still confused right now, and I don't know which way to go, and I had to start all over, so I'm just a little bit confused.
So there's a couple different options. Number one, like I said, you can try and have the building owner go to the Small Buildings Program. Another option is for you to contact the Department of Buildings if you believe you have housing code violations, and they might be able to go in and perform an inspection and help force the hand of the landlord or the owner to fix any kind of violations that might exist in your unit.
DAR, I think it's a program called DHR. They came and they took notice, because for a year and a half I didn't have air conditioning or heat, and that's when I just had the operation. And they took notice. Now they just fixed that stuff, right? So I wasn't paying rent during that time that I didn't have nothing, and that was during the COVID time too. And now I got a big old bill that I have to figure out something. I don't, they took note.
Yeah, so I would say that this is a case where maybe one of our CBOs, one of our housing counseling agencies could help.
Mm-hmm.
So again, there's two issues here. One is the conditions issues, which Jeff has identified, and we can think about that. The other one is your rent payment and figuring out what your options are in terms of your unit, moving, whatever you need to be stable. And so the housing counseling agencies, which I listed again, folks like University Legal Services, may be a great place for you to go and talk about what your immediate issues are, what your long-term issues are, and see if we can find a path to a more stable and better living environment.
Do you have a number to that organization?
Sure. So again, I posted in the chat, but I'll give you University Legal Services. And I'm not saying they're the best or they're the one.
Okay.
It's the one that I'm looking at right now. So that's 202-889-2196.
I appreciate that.
Yep. And you can also go to the Office of the Tenant Advocate, and I'll put that information in. That's a quasi-governmental organization that can help with with these issues. And their phone number is 202-719-6560.
Okay, I got both down. This is the first time I had some people talking back and stuff, because they send notes that I don't even find. I just found all my notes today in the spam, because I just put up their name and all kinds of notes popped up. Okay, well, thank you for your assistance. Thank y'all for coming out and helping people like me,
Yeah. And make sure you mention to everyone that your notices from ERAP were caught up in your spam folder, because again, that's something they need to know, but also that affected your ability to apply.
Oh, okay. Thank you for that information.
Great, thank you, sir. Next question we have is from Donald Birch.
Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you. I had a question about, you talked about, one of you, I'm sorry, talked about the scope of work. And I'm wondering if you're having repairs done, if they've assessed and they decided to do a roof or something, can you pay for upgrades? In other words, if they do the roof, do they also fix like the ceiling if there were leaks? Or if you have gutters, can you pay for yourself for gutter guards to keep the leaves out, those kind of upgrades?
I'll start and Jeff can weigh in. I know he may have to jump to another meeting. So the answer is a qualified no. So we haven't had experience in the past where sort of, we had our projects and the contractor was doing other projects, and it got too messy, and oftentimes there was a problem with some upgrade that affected our project, and then it just was very hard to figure things out. So in general, no. That doesn't mean, again, as I was saying before, that you can't sort of work with us to make sure the things you want to pay for are going to work, or work with us to make sure that things that you pay for are not you want to pay for, not affected by our work. But in general, no, you can't sort of pay for an upgrade, just because experience tells us that that's when things get really confusing and the project becomes much more complex than either of us want it to be. So we do use, and this is very clear, and Jeff, if you're still on the phone, we do not use cut rate materials. We don't, we do, to code. Our focus is on doing, work that's going to last. And because again, 3 years from now, 4 years from now, 5 years now, when you have a problem, you may not know how to reach your contractor, but you know how to reach us. So you're going to bring that back to us. So we want to make sure it's done right the first time. And we're working very hard to make sure that happens. But in terms of upgrading or maybe doing a little extra or that sort of thing, no, we prefer that. Now we do not allow that sort of to happen with our knowledge.
Great. Do you, Mr. Danillo, do you have time for one more question?
I do, yeah.
Great. Ms. Pamela Hackett, can you please unmute yourself so you can ask your question?
I have two questions, but basically I'm a homeowner here and I do need different things to happen in my property here. But my thing that I need most of all is work. I want to work. I am considered a senior, but I still am able-bodied and I want to get out here and I want to work. Is there any way that your agency, or is there a satellite agency that you can refer me to? Now, I've gone on the internet for the last 3 or 4 years. I have sent in my resumes over and over again, and I get no response. So something was telling me to go into companies like yours if you can help seniors to get back to work, because that will help me to do a lot of things on my property here myself, instead of engaging in the DCAS program and so forth and so on. Is there anything like that that you can help me to find work?
So,
I am
hear you.
computer literate.
I hear you.
I'm a realtor. I'm a licensed agent. And
yeah, what I do know, my agency does not do that directly. I do know, and DACL may be able to connect you with, there is a DOES program that assists seniors in finding work, primarily in the district government, but elsewhere as well, I believe. So we do not, we have plenty of seniors who work here and have worked here for a long time, and some recently hired, but we do not have a specific program to do that. But DOES, and I was on a panel recently.
DOES?
Sorry, Department of Employment Services.
Okay.
DACL, Department of Aging Community Living, may be able to make the connection, but they have a program that allows you to that attempts to connect seniors with work.
Okay, I tried, but like a lot of these, I have already sent in resumes and I get no response.
Oh yeah, and this is a little bit of a program, so maybe it'll be a little better.
Yeah, I just put the number for DOES in the chat for you, ma'am, so you can call them and they can direct you to the correct department.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much.
No problem. I'm not sure if Mr. Danillo has any other time, but if there are any last minute questions, you can go ahead and unmute yourselves.
Yeah, I see a question in the chat around what's the official name of our program, and it's the Single Family Residential Rehab Program. So it's not the shortest name around, but it gets a lot in there. So Single Family Residential Rehabilitation or Rehab Program.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Single Family Residential Rehabilitation Program.
Yes, ma'am. So Thanks for everyone for joining today. If there are no other questions, we're gonna let Mr. Danillo and Mr. Jeffrey, go on about their day, but we really appreciate you relaying this information to our seniors. So thanks so much for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the great information.
Thank
you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'll stay on in case you guys still need some information on the chat, but everyone's free to go.
Thank you so much.
Is that information gonna be on the chat after?
Yes, it's in the chat again. I'll be in the call for a couple minutes just so you can get any information
But I mean,
you
will
may
it be
need.
on there like when we come on tomorrow?
No, ma'am. Every time you leave the Zoom, the chat goes away. So just look through the chat and see if you need any information, and then write it down, please.
Okay, let me go there right now.
They on every day, huh?
Yeah. So no, you can do it every day. You can join a call every day. So if you want to, I'll help you. I'll call you and remind you. Hi, sir. I have a question.
Sure. How can I help you?
Hi, so I'm here with Miss Ethel Peoples. I generally help her on Tuesdays, and I just wanted to know, just so I can help her navigate through this whole 1 o'clock session. So they are daily classes, correct?
Yeah. Okay. Yes, I can give you a quick rundown. So Tuesdays and Thursdays, those are extra things. So they don't count towards the credit. It's just other resources that are available to you. But Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 1 o'clock are going to be the credit classes. So that's the classes you'll be learning how to use the iPad and how to use apps and things like that. So I really appreciate your help because I see here Miss Ethel has only completed 1 class, so we want her to complete the 5 other modules so she can complete the 6 module requirements.
So this is the thing. When she first got the computer, when you say class, her logging in isn't considered a class?
Yeah, no. It is. So again, it's a Zoom.
No,
it's
so
a
guess
Zoom
what?
class, ma'am.
She's done it at least 6 times because when she first got it, I did it with her.
Yeah.
She mentioned. Let me say this. I'm not. I just because she was confused too because she would, and I'm generally here.
Don't put it. Just put it over here.
I'm generally here with her on Tuesdays. I'm sorry, I'm cooking for her as I'm talking. I smell a pancake over here. Hold on. When she first got it, we did do the classes. So she mentioned to me last week that she received something to say that she had not. So, but we logged in from day 1 when she got it. I was here every Tuesday, those first Tuesdays, and she did log in. And one time there was someone they were having problems and they wanted to make sure she was on. And the guy came on. I don't remember. I didn't look at the camera. Was it a lady or a man, Grandma? Mm-hmm. But she did do the 6 classes, but whatever. I'll make sure if she has to re-log in, but unless there's something else outside of the 1 o'clock thing, she did complete 6.
So sorry, I definitely understand what you're saying. So right now, if you see on your participants showing as iPad, I don't know who iPad is. So I see Ms. Peoples been in the program since August. So I've been assisting with attendance during the modules. So she might have just not been showing your name. And it's been showing as iPad because we do attendance based on the Zoom attendance list that we get. So right now you're showing as iPad. I want to know her name is.
And guess what? And so I'm looking up here too, and I don't see her name, but I remember one time.
Yeah, you have to tap on participants and then tap on iPad me and then rename yourself.
Oh, guess what? Because her name.
Yeah, it hasn't been showing.
Okay, I see it.
So she was able to do it once. So unfortunately, without that, we aren't able to give credit. So I would say
no worries.
We have 1 on record. So if you complete 5, so if you do 2 this week and then 3 next week, then you should be good. And I do attendance every day, so I'll be able to see if you're attending. So
no worries. Okay, and I'm gonna sit with her a little bit today because she's very interested in being able to use this.
Yeah, of course, and I definitely want you to keep the iPad and all that such. So it's really important that you attend these classes. So again, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, 1 p.m. are the credit classes. Tuesdays and Thursdays are extra information. So it's just an additional thing.
So guess what we did. we didn't. So guess what? The Tuesday is the credit one. You need to do Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So when we were doing the Tuesdays, and that's what it was. That's probably what it was because
Tuesdays you don't receive
always
credit.
Tuesday.
Monday, Wednesday, Fridays are the credit days. Those are the days you actually learn how to use the iPad. So tomorrow they're going over emails. On Friday, they're going how to use the control center. So you'll be learning things like that, okay?
Awesome. And that's exactly what you want, Grandma. So guess what? You're going to have to do it on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 1 o'clock. So I'm going to call Keita and tell her to make sure.
So that they repeat.
So
we have some seniors that have been, joining Monday, Wednesday, Friday for like 6 months, 8 months, things like that. They repeat. It's basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 1 week, 4, 5, 6 the next week. So if you attend 6 classes in a row from tomorrow, then you'll have experienced each module.
Gotcha, I got it. So, and I didn't know that part. I just came in on
it is a lot of information, and sometimes people don't explicitly say certain things. So, that's why I'm here to be able to be real specific on what you got to do. Okay.
Gotcha. And Alexander, your name is Alexander?
Yeah, I assist Teresa. So today Teresa James would have been on, but I'm basically her assistant. So I'll be teaching. I do the advanced trainings at 10:30s on Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, but I also assist at the 1 p.m.s. I help make sure your name is showing on Zoom. So 1 p.m.s, I'm right there with Teresa. So that way you can credit for your class. So if you join tomorrow, I'll be able to assist you if you don't have your name in. But if you have your name in, as soon as you join in, that's even better.
Now, let me ask you this. Do you see her name now?
Yeah, you just change it. It says F for Peoples.
Yeah, okay. I just want to make sure because I can see it. And Alex, guess what? That's what happened the last time. We different people were concerned about not seeing it, and we saw her name. It was there, so I'm not sure how it kicked out, but her name was there. It would show on the screen by her, like right now, like in the little box.
Because you literally change it. So once you hit done and rename, then that's the way we see your attendance. Because again, I see folks from the call. So if you're showing as iPad, I don't know who iPad is. So
I get
I'm not.
Totally understood. Okay, thank you. So we'll be here going forward.
Yes, great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye-bye. Okay, Grandma. So tomorrow you have to do at 1 o'clock.
Yeah. So I'll give you.
That is a sweet grandchild. That is a sweet grandchild. God bless her.
I'll give you guys folks a minute again to go through the chat to see if you need anything from there.
Hey, Alex.
Yes, ma'am. How can I help you?
This is Jennifer Blackman.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you check my to see if I got credit for the 6 modules?
Or I'll send you an email. I can't do that as of right now, but I'll definitely send you an email to your iPad with the information. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Alex, do you plan to have anyone there from the Veterans Administration?
Sure. Teresa, you're going in and out, but I do see your question. I'll definitely ask Teresa James if anyone from any Vets Administration, because we do work with an organization called Vets Group. So I'll talk with Teresa and just check for her email if anyone from there will be speaking. Okay.
Thanks much.
Hi, Alex. Alex, this is Adele.
Hold
me, Alex. This is Adele.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Hi, Miss Adele.
Okay. For the gentleman that was speaking and for that department on housing, do you have a phone number for that?
I'm sorry, I kind of don't remember. I'm not familiar with the terminology. So with his organization, it's single family residential rehab program. And
yes, I got the title.
And then let me. It's not a phone number per se. You have to call a community-based organization. So either Lydia's House or Housing Counseling. So again, the link is I'm going to put in the chat for you, and they have a list of community-based organizations you can call.
All right.
Okay.
And I hate to ask, but how do you get in the chat?
You can hit more, and then you hit chat.
I hit
so
more.
So at the top, hit more, and then hit chat, the first one.
Yes, and then what if I hit that?
You hit chat, you can see all the previous chats that you've seen in the chat.
I see. I got you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
No
And
problem.
Miss Adele, can I interrupt just for a second? I do have Jeffrey Reiss's telephone number.
You have
the guy that gave the presentation?
Yes.
You asked for his phone number?
It's in the chat as well, 202-442-7154. So if you look up on the chat, that's his phone number if you have any questions.
All right. Thank you both.
Okay.
Alexander, this is Donald Birch. Can I ask a quick question? I but Teresa emailed me because she said she had been sending emails like for the week, the schedule.
Yeah,
and
she sends an email every day.
And she said that the reason I wasn't getting the emails was because I had unsubscribed. I'm not aware of unsubscribing, but how can I resubscribe?
I'm not sure. I don't send the email out, but I'll definitely chat with Teresa about it. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
No problem. So I do have another meeting to go to. So thanks everyone for joining for today's lesson. Be sure to attend tomorrow's advanced training at 10:30. I'll be doing it on the calendar, and we'll be having our regular module at 1 o'clock talking about email. So
your date for Dorothy Height Library. Your date for Dorothy Height Library. That's right. I'll call the help desk. It's okay. I'll call the help desk.
I'll be there. I'll be there on Thursday. Call the help desk, and you can set an appointment if you'd like, Ms. Teresa. Okay.
Thank you.
No
Thank
problem.
you very much, Alex.
No problem. I hope everyone has a good
Thanks.
day.
Teresa,
No
what's wrong with your microphone? Teresa.